got ourselves team 2 together with Magic. Gonna be first up, diving into stealth as a balance druid. On the team, we got Chicago. We got us to see what we got ourselves Cold Panda. We got ourselves Bad with Magic trying to see if he can. Wait, it's like a team of casters actually, except for one handsome shaman. Actually, even handsome shamans are casters nowadays. All the Magic users. Versus team 1, we got ourselves Totem Maids gonna be first up, trying to see if we can ramp up some damage. Gonna be Magic with a silence and Ursos, big damage versus Totem as I try to see if he can walk out of the Ursos. Big light, lots of trick inside of a Totem, maybe in a bit of trouble, does get himself as Thunder does the movie take him out as Totem just keeps on pushing the offensive. Wall up, got the Totem in order to static cling Magic into place. Got that chain link fence set up and Magic just looking for a bit of recovery since it can't escape anyway. Big, oh my god, New Moon just fell down on Totem Maid's head and he just lived it. He just got so many stars falling in. What is this Starfall build? There's so many shooting stars, man. So many stars falling. Hopefully Magic's making so many wishes right now. Magic taking a bit of damage. Big Elite Blast. Lightning Bolts to follow. Could be in a bit of trouble. Totem trying to see if he can close out the game. Big Lightning Blast of Magic. I don't know if he's got much of an answer here. I think he got him down. Boy, the Thunder. Oh my god. It has a Shaman can do war. Cold Panda going to be up next as an Elemental Shaman. Root onto Totem. He got himself the Ghost who's up and running. Big Elite Blast back at the Coil Panda who is going to knock him back out in the open. Lava Burst to follow. And this is where Totem trying to go for a bit of defense. Trying to find some cover. He's got to wait behind the pillar. Trying to avoid him as best as he can. Coil just needs to close that gap. Panda just trying to see if he can avoid him as best as possible. Still looking for an escape, still looking for recovery. Big Lava Burst flying at Totem as he got Big Elite Blast back at Panda. Needs to find a way to stop the Shaman from healing from behind the pillar. Ghost Rolls are doing work to build a Maelstrom, adding on to a bit of damage. And that's going to be Big Lightning Bolts to follow Panda. No health whatsoever. Meteor comes down. Totem survives the Meteor and does get a Storm Strike at the end. Narrowly escape it, but does survive it with a quick root on Band. Definitely needs to go for a little bit of recovery. Full Void Eruptions at the ready. Big Void trying to follow. Totem's going to take a lot of damage. The Void Eruptions actually just CC'd him back to back. Maybe Band could go for a stun right after. Looks like didn't have a stun to follow. But that's going to be the pet join in. Totem does recover a little bit of health very quickly. Band lagging a little bit. Mindful Insanity. Into a stun onto Totem. Totem knocking him back. Band got himself lots of plenty. Casting Totem looking to escape. Big Elite Blast onto Band. Does he have the damage? Massive zap. Actually could put some pressure onto Band. Band forced to trinket. Totem has to play aggressive. Doesn't want to get himself some cover behind the pillar. But that fear with Mind Games could be extremely deadly. Needs to be very, very careful with how much healing he does. And Band did use a lot of his defenses just now. This is where Totem realized, yep, I need my Maelstrom, I need my damage. Dampening is going to end up becoming really, really tough for me. Trying to clean Ban off of all the buffs. Getting a right interrupt on shadow damage is going to be crucial here. Interrupt him on Holy, but still has access to Disperse. Ban could use Disperse to survive it. That's exactly what he's going to do as Totem does go for a big Elite Blast. And Totem looking to reposition behind the pillar. Fear him out in the open. Does have a Tremor Totem for it. That's going to be Horror Bolts. Can he avoid the Horror Bolts? Trying to see if he can play DDR with it. It's like stun onto Totem with a pet. Does Ban have enough damage? Lightning Lasso for Totem. I think it's taking him out. I think there's no way out of this one. Oh, Totem does end up chasing him down. Taking him out of the game. And Chicago going to be up next. Chicago with massive blast on the Totems, just bringing back that Shaman glory. Oh my god, Chicago just went in. They weren't really worried about their health at all. They were just trying to stay in. Cool Class XZ is going to be up next, playing that Destruction as a pet sacrifice build with mad stamina. Gonna be Trinket, trying to go for a big Infernal with Chicago, but I think he was able to avoid it. Cool Class got himself plenty of defenses, trying to see if he can just take through the damage of Chicago. All these totems, all of these portals just blast out Chicago with unholy magic from Twisting Nether. Let's Cool Class try to see if he can catch up to him, try to see if he can stay ahead of the Shaman. Last onto Cool Class, Chicago trying to see maybe they can make some damage happen. Grounding Totem with the ready in case they need it. Gonna be portals dropping in. Mad damage onto the Shaman. Could be in a bit of trouble. Trying to go for double stuns on a Cool Class. Actually could be in big trouble as well. Got himself a full Blasphemy, but it's gonna be rooted out. Chicago trying to see if he can back away while the Blasphemy is in the game. And Chicago at least could utilize the mobility with roots in order to escape the Warlock. But that's going to be Rain of Fire, dropping in big Ghost Tools, just letting him build up Maelstrom, just still standing in Rain of Fire. That is a pretty big immolate on him. At some point, definitely needs to swap in, stay on Cool Class, pop some defenses, maybe utilize the Ground Totem, maybe get an interrupt, because eventually this Warlock is going to whittle you down. Maybe you could get some Maelstrom, maybe you can make some damage happen. Cool Class has a lot of stamina, going to be double stones onto Cool Class, more to call, is going to hit him, second stun to follow. I don't think the second stun actually did much. Fear next. Chicago is gonna try to see if he can walk off the platform before the Fear can really hit him. To portal is gonna do a ton of damage. Gonna be a massive drain. The portal still doing a lot of damage. Still doing a lot of work. Chicago's super low on health. Actually can still die to the dots at 49% dampening. No health whatsoever. If they get line of sighted by Cool Class, it could be in a bad spot. He could port on top of it. Does he have the line of sight? Conflict rate 1. Is that gonna be enough damage? The Chicago is barely alive. How are you still alive though? Next portal opening is gonna be deadly. This is where Cool Class just needs some kind of mobility to catch up to Chicago. Got him some big gateway. Doesn't go nearly as far as he wanted to. Super unfortunate. Lasso by Chicago. Has a trick very, very soon. Has defenses too. Wait, could he still live? Chicago looking for escape, looking for recovery. He just has to keep waddling up to Chicago. At some point, maybe. That's gonna be a massive cannonball portal, dude. At this point, I feel like Chicago, I don't know how the Shaman survives this. They've been hanging around on the last bit of health for so long. I don't know if they survive this at all. I feel like eventually Cool Class is gonna get an Infernal, that'll get a couple of gateways, and then he's gonna be able to make a big play. But it's just so hard to tell. Chicago leaping in as the shields are going to be falling down. Infernal slamming in. Going to be knocking Cool Class way out in the open. That's going to be one portal dropping in. Does Chicago get hit with a big blast? There's going to be lots of fell damage with an Infernal. Not much it can do. Maybe it can build up a little bit of Maelstrom. But that portal just continues to blast right through them. It's a cast. Oh, and does go down. That was a long one, man. That Warlock is actually unkillable. He doesn't do a lot of damage very quickly. But if you fight him and he holds his ground, I don't know what you can do against him. Gonna be Seavark trying to go for the interrupt versus Cool Class, blasting him out with missiles. This is gonna be a mortal coil out of the Warlock. Cool Class just trying to see if he can waddle out of there. Seavark is gonna have to use the mobility, but at least Cool Class doesn't have a lot of health to work with. This high dampening, not much you can really do. Battle Masters, all those health increases, very, very limited when he can use them. This is gonna go for Dark Pep, but you can see that shield, this high in dampening, doesn't really do much at this point. Big missiles does go for an interrupt with Seavark. There's also going to be a couple of shadow bolts from a portal. Cool Class try to see if he can maybe get himself some drains. He may need so far drain if he wants to go for like the biggest recovery possible. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to do much. And this execute range, Seavark is going to be able to wipe him out of the game fairly quickly. That's crazy. Last are going to be up next. Try to slow down Seavark. Looking for a big blast. Does miss the breath though. That's super unfortunate. As Seavark goes for a blink invis immediately. Polymorph from a Lathsmoker is going to be able to blast him out. Going for that Curian Radiant Spark. Maybe enough damage. Does he have the big barrage to follow? Try to get a knockback onto the Evoker. But Evoker got so much. It's cast damage, so much damage while moving. Looking for those procs. Seavark has no help whatsoever. May have to ice block it. There goes the ice block. As he sees Lathsmoker making some walls on either side, just erupting the earth around him, going for the big dragon's breath. Nova onto Lath. Lath trying to go for disintegrate, but I guess maybe like cancel it. Dalaran invis got him out. Trick it out of Lathsmoker. Just trying to see if he can break past it. Gonna be invis for Seavark. Definitely needs to pick up Eye. Trying to see if he can knock the mage out in the open. Mage is gonna go for big blast. Arcane mage right now. Maybe big damage. Trying to see if he can finish it. Oh, but Lath does it and taking him out at the end of the day with the procs of Eternity Surge. That is so much. That Warlock lived for a while, by the way. Jesus. Lost our RNG rip. That's unfortunate, man. Very, very unfortunate to see. That was a long one, man. Let's get another one going, yeah.